Hi and welcome to my playhouse. And it seems like Christmas has hit me extremely early this year. This video is sponsored by Himo because they sent me an L2 electric scooter. Well, you do one video about a battery for a bicycle and someone sends you a bicycle, then you do another video for a bicycle and then someone sends you an electric scooter. Whew. I'm really not complaining. I think this is gonna be great fun. Today I'm just gonna film this coming out of the box and then I'll charge the battery and then when I reach the weekend it will be ready for me to go out and take some rides on. So yeah, that's gonna be very exciting. So let's see what this is all about. First of all, it's a rather big box and I must say the bicycle that I did a review on, it got lost in the post month or so. This was here within a week. So this was very quick. Very happy about that. But it's heavy. It's a 36-volt scooter. I think the other side is the same. I broke this. This is the side with some information on. So it was shipped to me. That's my shipping address. So they call this the Himo L2 Max. I don't know where this Max comes from. It seems to be only this label that makes it a Max, because up here it's not called a Max anywhere. But it does say how big it is and how much. Well, it has a range of 35 kilometers. I don't think I can scooter that far and that long, but it can go 25 kilometers per hour. It's a 36-volt system. It weighs, it's heavy, 18.8 kilograms. A little bit funny, the material that the company sent me, it has a max load of 150 kilograms, but the label on the back of the package says 100 kilograms. So I have to decide if I want to lose weight or if I want to gain weight. It also suggests the age range is between 16 and 50. I am 46, so I have 4 good years to enjoy this. Let's see if I can manage that. And it says that the color is gray. Awesome. And then down here, where this label is, can we take that off? Let's keep that on there. It has some certificates. EN 17128. Certified by SGS. I am not gonna be the wise guy that's gonna tell you what that is. But there are some instructions to what you should not do with the box. We're not gonna do that to the box, we're gonna open it. Kitchen knife to the rescue. There we are. A funny thing, this box is a tiny bit smaller than the last one, but the bicycle box was full of foam. And I found a use for some of that foam. I did some air management in my data center with that foam, making sure that the air on the warm and the cold side of my data center was better separated. So I thought that was pretty cool that I was able to use the packaging for something useful. So I'm hoping that there might be some good packaging in here. Yeah. Okay, this is cardboard, so it's not the same. Okay, this looks very good. Very well put down in the box. And the box has no damage anywhere that I've been able to see. Oh, there's a... That's a weird one. Like, I couldn't pull this up, so there's a little opening here where the headlamp needs to be unplugged. That's a big scooter. Oh, there's a box here. Might be the power supply. It's the power supply. Cardboard. Cardboard. Panel. We have a bag. It seems that it has come upside down. There's a manual there. Let's have a look at that a little bit later. Put that stuff over on the table. Oh, there's an air pump as well. Oh, it's big. It's very big. Humongous. And that was the last thing in the box, I think. So there's a thing there. Is that one? No, there's only one on one side. Okay. Oh. That's reflective and a backlight and fenders. I wonder what this is. I guess we'll figure that out. We'll take the plastic off the front wheel as well. And they need some air. That's probably why there's a pump with the scooter. So the handlebar is kind of dangling there, but it comes with some screws, and I'm pretty sure that might be for mounting that. There are 4 screws, and then there's another longer one. I think the longer one might be for the lights in front of the. So, but let's see if we can't. Start by taking this off. Plastic here. Make sure that those connections are good. Yes, and it comes with everything. There is the screws, and there is an Allen key. So here are the 4 screws, and that's the longer one. I think that might be for mounting the front light, and these 4 screws are for the handle right there. Oh, when they line right up. This is almost too easy. And before I tighten these 2, I'm gonna go on the front, and there is 2 screw holes on the front as well. 2 screws there, and the 2 screws that I was just tightening back here. So here in front of the L2 scooter, there is room for mounting this, and it seems like there is already 1 screw there and room for 1 more, which might be the one that came with it. So I think we're gonna try and see if that makes sense. Okay, that might not be it, because this doesn't fit. So if they wanted me to, well, it's probably just that one. Okay. Okay, because this is round, it actually sits really well. I thought it would be wobbly, but it's not. It wants to point out this way, and we can adjust it. This probably has to point somewhat down in the ground. Then we should probably give it some air. This is cute. Yeah, the front tire definitely needs some more air. So there, I put that. Oh, it's opposite. Okay. It's open when this is down, and it's closed and ready to blow in air when this is out. That's the opposite of what I've ever seen. Oh, this is actually pretty quick. It's a small tire, that's probably why. If it says, you know it's too much. Let's check that if that isn't good enough. I think the motor is on the front wheel here. This big beefy black thing. I think that's the motor. Warning. Please use the air pump to replenish the front wheel to 30 psi before usage. And maintain the air pressure regularly. Okay. So the rear tire. I guess it's about the same thing. We put this in. And pump up the jam. This is not missing as much. There is tape on top of the reflective things. The tiniest little backlight here, and then there is a kind of a license plate, which, well, room for a license plate here, and it says ride your life. Yeah, okay. So we didn't actually figure out how to fasten this yet. I have cheated and I have figured it out. But you can lay this down for transport of the scooter, and when you want it back up, you just put this up, and it lowers it, and when it's lower, you can't put it back. And then there's a screw here, and there is a button on this side over here. There is that button, and when you put this up, it won't go in until you press the button, and then it will go the last little bit in, and now you can't pull it out. And the handlebar is very secure, doesn't go anywhere. This is huge. I have a tiny non-electric scooter, and this is, I think it's 3 times as big as that one. Yeah, this is cool. We need to figure out where it's charged and stuff. Probably a lot of you have seen The Fifth Element, where there's a big red button on the side of the weapon, and then the weapon blows up. But that's the charging port, so it's not a button, but the charging port. So let's in that regard have a look at the charger. It comes with a piece of white paper that tells us how we can, in German, safety manual. Yeah, they really shouldn't ship anything that's that unsafe. This is weird. Okay, let's see what it says. It says lithium-ion battery charger, and it works from 100 volts to 240 volts, and it uses 1.8 amps maximum. That's probably at 100 volts, but the output is 42 volts and 2 amps. And that's the connector that goes into the electric scooter, and it comes with a European plug. Very happy about that. So now we can pop this in there and we can charge it, and we'll be ready for the weekend. So up here is the display, and we can see that if we turn on the bicycle by pushing the power on button for about 2 seconds, it comes on, and then it starts up in S, and the white S is slow, and to change that we need to press the power button 2 times quickly. It changes to yellow. The slow one is like 5 kilometers an hour, and the yellow one here is like 18 kilometers per hour. And if we do it again, it becomes red, and that's 25 kilometers an hour. So besides that, there's a kilometer per hour readout, and then there is a battery indicator. That's the battery, and it says that it's full. So if it wasn't pitch black outside, we could go for a ride, but I'm gonna have to cheat it a little bit. So you can't just go from nothing. It has to be moving before it wants to run. So even if I'm pressing the button, nothing happens. But I found if I move it forward and then press the button, it will go. This is the slow one. So now it should be a little bit faster. That should be 18 kilometers per hour. And it says that on the readout up here as well. And if we double click again, this should be the fastest. And it does also say 25 kilometers per hour on the readout. There we are. Cheating a little bit here. Yeah. See some of the other funny features. There's a bell here. Very cool. And there's a handbrake. This one is for the rear brake, and on the back there is a disc brake down there, and it even lights up to indicate that the scooter is braking. The other one over here, the handbrake to the front wheel, there is nothing. It's a wire, and I do believe that they work exactly the same way, because there is no disc brake down here. I think it's a motor brake, so the motor will brake for you if you just use this one. So, but this one also has a wire, so I think if you just use this one, it will use both of them. And this one is only the motor brake, so you kind of get two brakes, but you can just use this and it will brake both of them. And here you can put your bag of goodies that you just bought on your scooter. Okay, it has been a few days. I have been extremely busy at work, but I just happened to look up the rules on driving a scooter in Denmark, and I probably shouldn't have done that, because you have to have this piece of fashionable headwear on when you drive a scooter in Denmark. And yeah, so I had to go purchase one of these. Luckily they weren't very expensive, and maybe I did get one of the really cheap ones, but yeah, just to not break that rule. I don't know why they do this, but I don't think it's very good. I think it limits my visibility why they put that label right there. But it's a brilliant sunscreen, so yeah, let's go for a ride without this crap. I know I look good. You don't have to tell me. It's very fashionable. If I fall, I'll get strangled, but the head will be intact. this is difficult camera work. Another feature, it fits in the bathtub. And get the water off. I am definitely not planning on washing it as much as I'm doing right now, but we are making video about it, so it has to look good. So we're just gonna remove all the water here, and it catches a lot of sand. And I did drive on some roads that was definitely not meant for this scooter, like some dirt roads. And well, it actually says in the manual that you should stay on paved roads, but as I wanted some drone footage, I needed somewhere where there wasn't a lot of people, so that dirt road became it. Okay, so the scooter had a wash and I had a wash. Awesome. And yeah, it carries in a lot of dirt, but I don't think I'm gonna leave it outside. But at that point we're gonna go to some of the pluses and some of the minuses on this Himo L2 Max scooter. The scooter is really well built and it handles really well. I was afraid that I would at every little rock be nose diving out into the distance, but I've driven over obstacles that was way more challenging than I thought it would be able to handle. It doesn't handle very loose materials like gravel. In my driveway there is gravel and it just spins and removes the gravels and makes a ditch through them. And also sand is not a good thing to drive in, but otherwise a good dirt road, no problem whatsoever. Well, you have to, it was a little bit difficult with that drone and the remote and stuff, but yeah, normal driving, no problem. I should have had a backpack or something like that. That would have been good. On the downside of this, the brakes are a little bit touchy. There is like a motor brake on both of the handles. One of them is only motor brake and the other one is the behind disc brake. That means that you can't brake a little bit. As soon as you brake, the motor brake will brake, and that brakes some amount. And I found it to be a little bit much. Yeah, and if you just wanted to brake a little bit, you can't pick the disc brake in the back of it, because that also uses the motor brake. So if you try to use the disc brake, well, you are using both. Well, this one is just the motor brake, and that one over here is the disc and the motor brake. So that was one thing. Then I found another thing, which is there's no way to lock this thing. There's an on-off button, but there's no key, there's no code, there's no nothing. So if you want it, you just press the on button and 25 kilometers an hour, you're gone. I found that really weird that they haven't put any sort of security on this device. Something that you could lock. I guess you could put a big padlock on it, and it would have been handy to have like something that disables it. I would very much like to take this to work, but I know that all of my colleagues would be playing with it all the time, and at some point I might think that, well, maybe give it a break, and it would be nice to shut it off and take the key or do something so that it wasn't fun anymore. But I haven't found that, so if anyone knows how to do that, that would be interesting. Third thing that I came across is that it's only illegal to have an electric scooter in Denmark with a maximum speed of 20 kilometers an hour. This one drives 25 kilometers an hour, so it's not legal here. Not even if you say I'm only driving 20 kilometers an hour. No, the device can drive 25 an hour, so therefore it's not legal. So I ran into that issue. I got the helmet, so I kind of fixed half of it. Well, you're also, it's kind of like, it's comparable with a moped or something like that. You're not allowed to drive intoxicated. I didn't do that. If you break the law on this here in Denmark, it can actually have real consequences. If I go to town and drink like a sponge and I drive home with a very high alcohol percent and I get caught by the police, I believe that they can actually take my driver's license and give me a fine from hell. But that is some of the rules here. I looked up Europe and there is different rules. Other countries in the EU, you can drive the 25 kilometers per hour. France being one of them. There was a list, but Denmark was not the only country where 20 kilometers per hour was maximum. And I did go check and see all the other scooters that was for sale here at the Danish distributors, and they are all rated for 20 kilometers per hour. It would be very nice if you could go into the menu and set the max speed for this to 20 kilometers per hour, something where you had to do something sophisticated to change it, so that when you meet the police officer and he hits the wheel and it says only 20 kilometers per hour, even if you could just change it to miles per hour, that would be neat. Then it would be 20 miles per hour, and yeah, you would be cheating a little bit. That would be smart. I really enjoyed driving this thing, and especially because that bicycle helmet just makes me look that cool, right? So do leave me a message in the comment system and tell me just exactly how cool I look. That would be very nice. And yeah, that like down there for not getting myself killed in traffic while trying to do a remote and drone, that like, I earned it. And if you want to check this out, well, they're selling it. And for us here in the EU, it's available from European warehouses. So there is no import stuff, messy, extra pay, damage, something. It's shipped directly from an EU warehouse. This is kind of a big scooter. The other scooters that I've seen has smaller batteries and way more lightweight, which might be a good thing. Also, this bends up really nicely and goes in the back of my car. And I actually did that. I took my car and I went somewhere and I filmed a little bit and back into the car and back home again, and in the bathtub. Price wise, I haven't got a clue what this scooter costs, but there will be some links in the description, and I do very much encourage you to, well, look around. And the prices vary all the time. They might have a campaign, next week. I have found that these Chinese companies has a lot of campaigns, so it might be a few weeks that you have to wait, and then you can get it for a little bit better price. But it's mostly, you know, Black Friday and some other sales where they usually make it cheaper, but I found that they also come up with other reasons to make a sale and dump the prices for a while. So indeed, do check out the prices and see if there is anywhere where it's cheaper, closer, faster, better shipping, whatever. Surf around. We want you to get the best deal possible. Other than that, I will thank Himo for sending, I don't know if Himo is a company, but I'll thank them for sending a scooter for me to review and show to you guys. And yeah, now I'm the proud owner of a bicycle helmet, just so that I didn't break that law. So thank you very much for watching my videos. Do subscribe to my channel so that you can see me again, and have a really nice day. Bye bye. Oh, I forgot to say, it has a range of 35 kilometers. That's pretty good for a scooter. So yeah, that's far.